So let's do the upper recess here by using really clean and nice curves. So we will secure that we have few CVs and really nice curvature fans. First, we loosen up the shade tolerance a little bit to have easier tumbling in space. And then we continue on here by making the pictures visible that we need to kind of trace where the recess should be. When we look at this, if we're lucky, we could use the mathematics. So let's use the patch precision tool here and add some lines there. It doesn't match that good, but the ends there, we might use those just to kind of stop the recess. But the long curves, we actually need to do them manually. So let's build up these curves as clean as possible. And use layers. It's good to be organized. Okay, we start to trace the edge there of the recess and have as few CVs as possible. Start to move the CVs so you have kind of the same angle between each hull, the straight lines between the CVs, and try to do the best to find the profile there. And use the curvature fans. And now I realize that we should really be a little bit outside, so we have some space for the actual surface to bend inwards. So what we will do is that we will do the curve but with a little bit of offset. So I will just go in here and start to move out the CVs a little bit. So take these and move them out, so I have a little bit of offset there. Otherwise it will be a struggle to achieve this. And the curvature fans again, to check that it looks smooth and nice, no funny things going on. So now we have what we believe is a good curve. So let's take those end curves there. So I go for rebuild, and then we could copy one of those patch precision curves. So that looks good. Let's do the same in the back as well. On the other side, somewhere there, and it could be well outside. So let's go maybe there. So now we should have two carbon surfaces there from the patch precision curves. But the top curve there, it seems like we need to project down a long curve there. So again, try to have as few CVs as possible. In this case, we could have copied the lower curve and used that as a starting point. Then we have got the same mathematics. In this case, I didn't do like that. So it will be important later on to use rebuild. Yeah, so let's take these curves now and project them onto the surface. Oh, look at that. We also have a carbon surface missing there. Let's take the rebuild tool again and make a copy from one of those isoparms or patch precision lines. Now we should have carbon surfaces on both short ends, but these long ones need to be projected onto the surface. And there we go. Looks good. We could hide the original curves. And let's trim out, cut out a hole here now with discard. And now it's time to do a middle curve that will kind of push down this BiRail. So we make a generation curve, and I suggest blend curves. They are nice. So we just snap here on each side, and then we need to add. So pick nothing, and then you choose add a point, and we just snap it in the middle and move it in. So select the middle there. Yeah, something like that. If we look at the curvature fans, we could have a check, a little bit of analyze there. And you should always have the CVs turned on when you work with blend curves. So then you get an idea of the CV flow. So here we can see it's quite wide between the lower CVs in the bottom there. Maybe we need to adjust them later on, otherwise it will be very flat, this recess in the bottom. Now we have planarized it, and we use planarize inside the blend tool. So it's a different planarize than what we did use earlier. And BiRail, it's a lot of settings changed there, so let's reset and go for default, start easy, 2+ here, so we have 3 generation curves, zoom in instead, it's much better, zoom in, and there we go, accept with spacebar, and then primarily, secondary, and that looks funny. Instantly think rebuild, so if we go for rebuild on the rails, you can see that it cleans up instantly. Keep on changing rebuild here until it looks as good as possible. And what I mean with good is that you have no isoforms super close to each other. Also we need curvature, so I turned on curvature, and we can see that we have sometimes we have very close to the isoforms, and then I try another combination of rebuild. So this is the best we could get, I think. So maybe we settle, it says failed, but let's go for this for the moment. Maybe we could adjust the middle generation curve and find a solution, if we're lucky. So that looks good enough. So let's now tweak this one a little bit, because it's very wide in the middle. We could also have changed the ends of this generation curves and made it look different. That could help the BiRail to do a good job. But let's check if we achieved curvature. So we go down here. Yeah, we have we got curvature there. We actually got curvature everywhere. That's great. So now we have found a solution. It's time to analyze with more tools. So let's bring up the other surfaces and use the tools that we are getting used to. So the zebra pattern, and we could also use this red, white and black material, which is really good to investigate and analyze, evaluate your surface with. And now we could possibly also crank up the shading tolerance again. But this looks really nice. We could also go in another angle, so we go vertical with the black and white stripes, and it seems good. I think we should save. Well done.